An imaginative elephant named Horton decides to save the city of Whoville after he hears a cry for help coming from a speck of dust in the Dr. Seuss classic, Horton Hears a Who.
Hi, I'm Steve Carell. You're watching Made in Hollywood, and here is a scene from my upcoming film, Horton Hears a Who.
You are the underappreciated mayor of Whoville. How would you describe the mayor?
The mayor is a very earnest, very well-intentioned, well-meaning person. Did you ever get the feeling that you were being watched? Who is given this piece of information, namely that his world is in dire jeopardy and he needs to convince everybody else in town. And then you get the feeling that maybe that thing watching you is a giant elephant. That they're in trouble. You know how you get that weird feeling that your world is actually a tiny speck and that the elephant that I talked about earlier is carrying it around on a flower? But nobody really believes him and nobody takes him very seriously.
Hello, Horton. Can you hear me? It's Kylie down here in Whoville.
Hello!
You say we're on a speck? Doesn't that sound crazy? What do you tell people that don't believe you?
Even though you can't hear or see them at all, a person's a person, no matter how small.
Horton does hear a speck, but what does that tiny speck end up being?
Well, the speck ends up being a whole new possibility for Horton, a whole new bunch of friends. And I think that that's the important thing, is that he realizes that his world is not the only one, you know, and I've always felt that way.
There are people on this speck.
Absurd.
They have a mayor who has 96 daughters and one son named Jojo, who all share a bathroom, whatever that is.
The mayor has 96 daughters and only one son, Jojo.
Right.
What is the relationship between the mayor and Jojo?
Jojo is a brooding, very uncommunicative son. So, Jojo, what's the word?
Sweetheart, you need to go to bed. Daddy's having a breakdown.
It's reminiscent of many relationships between parents and kids, that there are times of both of, you know, their lives, of parents and a child's lives, that you're not quite connecting, you're not quite seeing each other eye to eye, you're not communicating, and that's their problem.
It's just a straight plummet to certain death.
The whole universe could be also a speck to someone watching us.
Yeah, I think it is. It is a speck. It is definitely a speck. And there's some very important things going on that are important to us and no one else.
Don't worry, citizens of Whoville. I'm light as a feather.
Basically, the ants think they run the world. I mean, I have a hummingbird in my backyard that thinks it's his property. You know, it's all your perspective. It really doesn't matter, and everybody is valid, and everybody has a voice.
Horton, we have become fast friends. We need you and you need us. How cool is that?
We're a club. We're a group. We can take a vote on the issues. We can be a secret society that controls the balance of power in the world.
Horton.
And no one else can join unless they wear funny hats.
And what kind of a town is Whoville?
Whoville is a town of happiness and joy, a town in which things never go wrong. Everybody is cheerful.
Dr. LaRue, if our world were, say, a tiny speck, how would we know?
Well, we'd have inexplicable tremors.
There has never really been anything bad to have ever happened.
Dramatic changes in the weather.
Even the idea of their town being in a dilemma or sense of jeopardy is such a foreign concept to these people that it's difficult for them to wrap their heads around.
If we didn't achieve stability, our world is headed for disaster.
The professor takes them seriously because the professor is smart enough to understand their dilemma.
Oh, we're doomed.
Horton! Horton, are you still there?
No, this is, Benny. Horton is busy right now. I'm joking.
Wow, Horton, I thought you forgot about me.
Well, the entire time you're in the studio yourself doing your lines, did you ever drive yourself crazy that you weren't working with anyone else?
It is odd. It's very strange. But you know, I mean, you are working with creative people. You know, I'm there with Jimmy Hayward and Steve Martino, and Steve is sitting there while I'm performing, and he's drawing cartoons the whole time I'm performing. So at the end of a performance of a scene, and I might be with a writer as well, throwing ideas out, and at the end of a scene, Steve will come up and show me a drawing he did of the character doing the exact thing I was just doing.
That's awesome. And it's a responsibility I will not take lightly.
They're different in the sense that obviously animation, you only get to use your voice, but that's fun, even within its limitations. It's really fun because you can get to go crazy and try all sorts of different things. So as long as I could do both, that would be great.
All the way down to your great, not so great, great grandfather.
It's a great creative process, and there's wonderful geniuses all around you that, you know, it's so much smarter than I could ever hope to be, and so much more savvy when it comes to that world of computer animation.
Kiss me.
This is where we get off. Cool line.
Usually I can't think of those things till later.